Hey guys, welcome back to PA3d. As you can see, we are just doing something a lot different than normal. And this is a brand new airport I just found. Well, not found, but I've got. And this is Sabiha Gökçen, I don't know how to say it. But this is in an airport in Turkey. You can take a look at it here. So we're just panning around. And got this cargo terminal, got passenger terminals down here. We could just pan around there. Take a look at it. It's pretty cool, huh? And let's go and stop our motion. So we've got a lot of Turkish airlines around here. This is a wonderful airport. What I'm going to do is take ourselves out in a little tiny plane just down there. You'll see what it is later on. We're going to take off on runway 24. Is it 24 or 23? I don't even know. 24, and we're going to do a quick circle, take a look at the airport from the aircraft as well, and it's a new aircraft to the channel, so we'll learn how to fly that as well together. This is actually wonderful scenery. I'm really sorry whoever made the scenery. I can't remember what your name is called, or the company. I'm trying to remember. I think it's a new company that just came online on Sim Market. I think this is the first scenery they've uploaded. I can't remember. But yeah, we're going to do a quick flight in our tiny aircraft, which is a Piper Cherokee 180. So this is going to take off, spin around, come down on the ILS, and hopefully that will get us enough views of the airport and learn how to fly this wonderful aircraft just a bit better. So let's go and reset the static camera to where the aircraft is, and this is it. This is the Piper Cherokee, and it's quite a small aircraft, and it's bumping around a bit. That's just a static camera. Right, so let's jump to this camera, which is locked to the aircraft. It's not static, and yeah, it's Cherokee 180. Let's get inside the cockpit, take a look at it, and currently it's going to set it to cold and dark, which now it's cold and dark, which is good, and we can get rid of the control locks actually, and and these bad boys can go. So this is the cockpit inside it. What we can do is open it up by unlocking it first and then opening it up. They've got the trim wheel just up here. Make sure neutral for takeoff, and then you can adjust it later. You've got the pilot's handbook. You can just get some notes you can write down. I think you can change it on your. If you go to the config, you can change it, which is pretty cool. So we're going to hide the yokes for now. And what we're going to do is turn on the battery master, take a look at the fuel tanks. So we've got more on the right tank, so that means we're going to set the fuel to the right and turn off the master. So what we're going to do is pretty much bring the mixture all the way to the full, so we can actually get the prime the engine going. This will get the engine started, just priming it up, and then we can turn on the fuel pumps. So what we're going to do is the rotating beacon could come on, that light can come off. Like so, and that's enough primed for the engines, probably not too much, hopefully. And what we're going to do is turn the magneto from right, left to both. Hit the starter. If it doesn't get going, like you can see just there, get a bit of RPM going, and boom, there we go. The engine has started. See all the gyros coming alive now as the engine started. We've got enough power coming to the aircraft, so they can do more stuff. So we're going to set the throttle to idle. Hopefully the engine doesn't shut down. The engine, exit's just going to flap around just a bit. We can just close it up. Okay, the engine stopped because let's try again. With the fuel pump on. Yeah, I think the primes is finished, so we're going to prime it as well. Turn off. Get rid of starter. So, fuel pump off. Let's try this again, because I should turn on the fuel pump to keep the engine going. So the gyros are slowly just coming off. So there we go. Let's reset that and start it up again. So let's just keep the revs high for now, along with the fuel pumps on. Just get us going, and we can go and shut the door up, so we can just get some quiet ambience inside the cockpit. So that's done. I got the engine started. Make sure we're just gonna keep it going. You can see I've done 7.9 hours in this aircraft, so I've done quite a lot of flight time. And actually, if you want to know who made this, this is A2A. It's quite pricey for the academic license P3D, especially professional. I think it's added like a $20 for some reason. I don't know why they do that. So I'm going to set runway heading as well quickly, which is 24. Let's spin this all the way around. So get that going. So that's that done. So landing lights don't need to come on yet. Fuel pumps on, that's fine. Okay, so what we're going to do is full left on the rudder. Well, we can do some flight controls as well quickly if you want. Forward, yeah, there we go. That's all good. So we're going to do full left on the rudder. Make sure we release the parking brake and come all the way around. And so we can just go and taxi off to the runway. A lot of Turkish Airlines around here. It's one of their main bases. So we get the radio master on. Pitot heat. No. We'll quickly check the temperature if we need the pitot heat quickly. Yes. So I'm not looking at the sim. And yeah, the temperature's fine. It's 10 degrees. That's good for our little taxi today. So no need for the pitot heats. What I'm also going to do is set the ILS localizer frequency ready for our arrival back into this airport. So it's going to be at 110 at 9, like so. Let's get more power into this aircraft because it does require a bit of power sometimes. And as you can see, it's just us inside the cockpit. And sometimes you can use a bit of brake when the throttle, the dash's still going. Don't have to go idle throttle like the Dash 8. So we've got a pretty simple taxi really. Gonna go down Delta, and then we're going to Golf hold short, and go straight onto the runway from there. Actually. Look, we're not going to use the full runway length, are we? Not at all. So it's going to keep it taxiing down this. You see the main terminal just there. Look at that, lovely. So we're going to take a look at this lovely scenery. I don't think just the airport's included. I think it's got some other photo scenery included along with this. Quickly going to set the barrel reference as well. And we should be like not cruising, but going up to a flight level of 350. Oh, wait, that's when the ILS starts, isn't it? Yeah. 350 is when the ILS starts. Here's a Golf, so I'm going to set idle throttle, so we can actually do a little turn. Make sure there's no other aircraft around, which there aren't. That's good. There's none landing, which means we can go turn on the landing lights. Strobe lights can come on. And that is pretty much set for takeoff. So I'm going to bring the yokes back now. We don't need to go down there that much now. Not down there. And make sure that this is on for now. We're going to turn on to altitude once we get into the runway. Right. Bring us to the right, so we can line up with the runway. And what we're going to do, pretty much, all you do, slowly bring the power in. And as soon as you get airspeed live, which is good, and a rotate speed in this aircraft is already at 60 knots. So, it's pretty good. I've got a bit of a crosswind here today. Not too much. And as you can see, we're already in the air, so there's not much needed. Not much runway needed at all. Gonna try and keep on our runway heading of 240, and we can appreciate the passenger views of the, well, not quite. Got the airport down there. We're gonna spin around, don't worry, and take a look at it. So we're gonna bring a little left turn in here and start heading to the south. Well, all the way to the east actually. And we're gonna also but keep it climbing as well as we turn around to the east and take a look at the airport. So let's hold it here, and what we can do is actually get the autopilot master on, and we can set this to the setting, which means just keeps us going straight if I can set it up. And there we go. Oh no, that's set to heading. There we go, straight. There we go. It's good. So look, there's the airport. Actually, it is really nice. And let's get our binoculars on by clicking F, I think. No, okay, that's not worked. But yeah, you can take a look down there. Got some nice little aircraft. A lot of Turkish Airlines 737s, A320s. This is a wonderful airport, and also learning how to fly this lovely Piper Cherokee. I'm going to start leveling off at 3,000 feet actually. Probably we might descend down to 2,000 and start the RLS from there. That sounds like a good idea. So let's go and reduce some power. And, bring the trim down. You can see I'm just moving the trim down to about there. Will be lovely. I might need to bring it up just a tad actually, because we are going to reduce our power and turn us to out. So the airport's just behind us now, just pretty much passing it. I'm going to bring this heading around to 060 and set our autopilot to that. It's going to spring us around. We're still climbing, sadly. Let's go and reduce the power. And descend down to 2,000 feet. Okay, 060. And the glide slope and localizer things is going to go crazy for now, that's fine. So, going to be at, we can start the ILS at 1,800 feet, which is where the localizer, well, I don't know what it means, but lock 1800. That's approaching us now, or not now, but soon. And we're still climbing, so I don't think we're going to reach that. That's fine. Take a look behind us, just see the airport in the background. That's nice. We're going to take a look at more of it as we come in into the airport. And, we're getting a bit more of our descent now again, which is good. Right, got a steady descent rate. That's a lovely speed, 120 knots. It's a bit too much. I'm going to reduce some power here and bring the trim up just a tad. Look at the vegetation here as well. Wonderful, and the lovely weather as well to go with that. Right, let's go and get rid of the autopilot for now, and it's going to bring our little left turn in. So going to level off just a tad. And bring the left turn in. Going to spin us around, and this aircraft is really lovely to fly because it's by A2A, and the reason why it costs so much is just what they did to it. And it's just like the real life version. I have flown this aircraft in real life, and it's wonderful. Right, let's line up the runway of 240. And you can see the glide slope just in there. Going to cut back onto the localizer as well. Going to keep her turning around. That's the runway heading set. And we're going to get the localizer back as well. There's also flaps in this aircraft, just there. We'll set those up soon. Right, the localizer's coming in, so we can start leveling off just a tad. Or lining up, not leveling off. I think that's 2 reds, 2 whites as well. It's kind of good. So you see just here, localizer needle is just coming in. And also the glide slope needle is coming in as well. So what you want is a little circle just here. And pretty much you want like glide slope and the localizer just sat there pretty much the whole time. So you just adjust the trim, make sure you set up the rudder as well, and everything should be good. Yeah, I think we've got 3 reds, 1 white now, and 2 reds, 2 whites, and just a adjust the trim up there and accordingly to the glide slope. You can see it's just sat there now, and I'm not really touching anything currently. The glide slope is coming down, so what I can do either is reduce some throttle or get some trim down, which I don't want to do too much. Right, coming at 1,000 feet, so it's going to set flaps 1. Going to land it with flaps 2. There are 3 flaps setting with this aircraft, and this is pretty much the basics of flying this aircraft as well, along with this wonderful airport scenery. I mean, you've got the city as well around us. Wonderful. Let's get down on that glide slope. We don't have to worry too much about the glide slope. We've got that very long runway that we can land on. But I'm going to reduce some speed and set flaps 2. So you got, yeah, the airport's been like leveled up as well, so we don't get too much of a sloped runway, which is nice. Right, there's the glide slope coming back in now. The localizer's looking good. And what would be lovely to fly this in was great to fly this in VR, but I've got 1060 GTX 1060. It's not going to get me good frames if I use a VR with that, so that's just not going to happen. So we got a bit of a crosswind really. Let's set idle throttle now, and slowly bring ourselves down into the runway. Okay, when I say slowly, a bit hard. That's fine, don't worry. And that's really cool. When we go and park up again, I'll show you one of the main things that are really good about this aircraft. Going to bring some power in. We're going to come off here, which is Golf is coming up as well. We're going to come off Golf again, which is kind of cool. Turn off the landing lights, and the strobe lights can come off too. So Golf is just coming up here, and we're going to taxi back to the GA apron, and I'm going to show you some other nice little features of this aircraft. Right, okay. Let's not turn it off, but go to standby in the TCAS. And bring a little left turn in. There we go. And I think that's what the GA parking was. No, those colourful hangars. And is any sewed at this airport? No, because I thought you can open those hangars, but obviously not. At Trondheim Vernes, I don't know how to say the second one, Viennes, you can do some cool stuff with the hangars there with sewed. And I'll show you some cool things you can do with this aircraft. Sadly, there's no windshield clean us thing. Let's go and open up the door. Just unlock it really. Let's get some nice little wind in here. It's a bit hot, you know. And here comes the GA parking. Don't want to skid too much. We came in a bit too fast there. Well, also didn't really bring in too much of the rudder pedals, and it's going to park just very to one. Oh my god, there's birds. I have not seen that. I did not see that at all. There's birds that's been textured into the other airport, which is really nice as well. Cool. Right, let's get some loads of power in here. My 1080 display is not being quite so happy with those very skinny shadows of the poles there. And they're going GO1, which is General Aviation number 1. So it's going to park up very simply. And get some brakes going. set the park and brake, and I'm going to shut the engines down by bringing the mixture to the to off pretty much, and turn everything off. That's already off actually. So make sure that's off. Radio master's off. So let's go outside and not go to GSX and go to this page. So what you can do is actually get some control locks on, which just locks the controls. You get headphones if you wanted to, that will quieten the volume actually if you have them on inside, and sunglasses as well. What's really cool, you can actually get sunglasses over the top of your hat. You get wheel chocks, tie downs, and pizza covers as well. I just see down there. So that's pretty much so much things you can do. That's by clicking Shift 3. So this is a Shift. There's no Shift 1, but there's Shift 2, 3, 4, and this actually set up your fuel and all your other passengers you want to have on board, like this big man here, 100 kilos, and get rid of him. Also got the baggage as well. And if you click F7, get to the maintenance hangar, and you can take a look at all these different customizations you can do to the aircraft. So you get the fairings on if you wanted to, and the nosewheel one, which you can just see. And also you can get the wing root fairings, which is just over here, just gets a bit more streamlined for the wing if you want to go a bit faster. And we're going to get rid of that because I don't like those. Just underneath you've got gap seals. If I just come over here, it's kind of hard to see actually. Get rid of the flaps, and just underneath you've got little gaps here, and bring the, oh, not that one. Here you can see those gaps that go away. It does reduce a bit of drag if you have them on. Also change the wheels and the battery. I'll just keep it the same, you can't really see it that much. We can change the wheel actually, you can just about see that. It's kind of cool. And also you can change the actual engine, oil and the spark plugs, and fix anything that you've broken, because if you do this wrong, if you crash the aircraft or something, if you get the prop into the ground or something like that, it will bend and you can fix it up, which is really cool. So there's a lot of damaging you can do to this aircraft. I'm not saying just damage it all the time you want, but that's cool if you do manage to do something stupid. And that's that pretty much. And this is like a little pre-flight inspection you can do, which I didn't do. Got 2 Turkish Airlines taxiing out to runway 24. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this lovely Turkish scenery. We'll be doing a nice little flight here. One day we will. And they got a little cargo terminal there. We might do some Emirates Sky Cargo. It'd be nice to get some cargo flights done into this channel. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this wonderful aircraft. If you liked it, please say you want more flights done in this aircraft. I can do it in loads of different countries. I've also got Miami version 4 installed. If I want to do some flights around Miami City. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next flight. Goodbye.